wondering if you watched all of the boys, and has that changed your thought process on all episodes down dropped at once versus weekly versus do three to get people hype, or two like Disney Plus is doing and doing it by week, every week. Like what is your preferred method? Because we've talked about this before.
You didn't change your
Wait,
name. It looks like you're in as Michael.
it never let me change it.
Really
Yeah, when I went in, it automatically, and
into
that's
the
not the
record.
first. hmm and that's not the first time it's done that either. Hey, how'd you do that?
I just hit the buttons, man. That's all. Just hit the buttons.
Really?
Yes, you have the same access I do.
I mean, you say that, but
I'm just saying, man.
I probably have to hit that need help button.
I mean, maybe. Looks like we're getting some people slowly coming into our chat. What's up, people? We're the News 19 Nerds slash We Trying channel. We're doing both tonight. I'm Michael.
I'm Leroy.
As you can see, we are in a new format here. We told y'all we were trying some things behind the scenes. We're trying to kind of make it on our own, and in order to do that, we needed to get some equipment and be able to stream from our respective homes. So we are trying that tonight to see how this works. People have been in here with us before. Um, Hello, people that are new. David Cooper. Okay, what's up, persons? Hey, can you see the chat in the not on the YouTube but on the restream thing?
No, where's that at?
It's in the top right corner where it says like captions, graphics, chat.
hmm
You'll
Oh,
see. Yeah, if you click on chat, David Cooper just said, "What up, persons? What's up?"
I see.
Yeah,
Because I typed in "we here."
yeah. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, as I was saying, we are essentially trying to better our technology and be able to stream from different locations. Hence why I look like I'm in a jail cell or a torture prison because
You look like
I don't have a.
a hostage.
I mean, could be, whatever. I might like that. I'm in the role play. You don't know.
You know
Um,
what? I don't want to know. I
there we
don't want
go.
to know.
Meanwhile, Leroy
TMI. I'm in
is
I'm in my baby's
in a
room.
baby.
Nope, I'm in
Yeah,
my baby's room. This is Owen's soon to be room.
there we go. Uh,
Uh
Michael, someone's in there with you now. Yeah, basically, you see that big shadow in the background.
mhm.
Normally, this wouldn't be where I'm streaming from, but we just wanted to try it out to see if this works. So, people have been with us for years in our, you know, as our. I don't want to steal garbage truck on fire, but that's because that's kind of funny. But that's kind of what we are, right? But anyway,
What?
people have been with us for years. Y'all in the chat, let us know if you can hear us, how it looks, and how the chat works as we're doing this.
Yeah, we were supposed to stream earlier, to test this earlier, but I had to make sure my wife didn't have his baby in the bathroom
Man, what
after
a
I told her
story!
after I told her to sit down. Talk about, I feel some pressure here, and I'm like,
I
didn't I
feel
tell
some
you to
pressure.
sit down somewhere?
I love it. Who else? Whoever else is in the chat, I see David Cooper. Hopefully, more people will respond. But if y'all can do us a favor, um, come to the. Let me know if you're seeing us through News 19 Nerds or through the We Trying channel. I'm just trying to see what's coming in. David
One
Cooper, you're
person
not the only one in the chat, or
one
not the
person is on the press play for We Trying,
one person's on the. How can you tell?
because I'm on We Trying.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Yeah,
That's up.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Unless that's me watching me.
Honestly, actually, I think it is because it does count you as a viewer.
Really. So the
Yeah.
only person in here is me.
Okay, that's fine.
It says one watching now, so I'm guessing that's me.
As Leroy is still alive, I don't believe he said that to a pregnant woman.
Say what?
I'm reading chat. Oh, we can do this too. Eventually, chat will pop up on the side, which is cool.
Oh, I did say that.
Look at that.
I straight said that to her face. Because this is the thing. So my wife is a little OCD when it comes to, like, she has anxiety about getting stuff together. And I told her to sit down somewhere. and she wanted to make sure everything was done. And I was like, we still got another week. She's like, I could drop this baby at any time. And I was like, you're right. But, back in the day, they used to put babies in um, like, drawers.
Hmm.
They didn't have cribs back then. As long as they happy and fed, it don't matter. That's how I look at it. It's good.
So I'm seeing some of our regular people comment here. IMAX, I'm seeing James Smith. So IMAX said, I never got the We Trying Y'all notification. To be fair, IMAX, because we are still trying to grow that channel, I did most of the notifications through News 19 Nerds. So if you didn't get it on We Trying, that would make sense.
So yeah, I need a ceiling fan in this room too. Gotta write
Yeah,
that down.
it gets hot once you get all them lights in and stuff.
No, it's not the lights; it's the headphones.
Oh, oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
Um,
buy like the little headphones that you bought. I actually got these domes on the side of my head. Um, these Princess Leia organo things.
right. So we're slowly getting people in. You want to start or keep chit chatting? What you want to do?
No, we can start. We can. I mean, do whatever. I'm just looking to see what else I got to do in this room tonight.
Okay.
Just one
So
second.
what we were planning to talk about tonight, since we kind of came up with this last minute, or at least the impromptu time for it, is we're kind of going to do a breakdown from the state of play. James Smith, I appreciate that with the super chat and stuff. It's going to be a minute before we can accept super chat because we got to rebuild our fan base for the new channel like we did for the old channel. So we appreciate you doing that, but we will keep you informed if and when we can accept paid subscriptions and whatnot and all that kind of stuff.
Put it like this: don't give no money to News 19 Nerds until we get
Well,
we
don't ever
trying
give
them.
money to News Night Two Nerds.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're fine.
they are good.
Yeah, they're
Tegna
good.
is good.
Right. Um,
We, on the other hand,
yeah, we try and so yeah, there we go.
hence
Um,
the name.
yeah. Um, so essentially, we were going to talk about state of play, and Leroy might have some other topics too, as we just go through the night.
I'll probably just go throw out random stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
So in short, state of play happened. What was that? June 2nd, Thursday. Yeah.
I don't know.
There we go. It was a 30
You the
minute.
one who told me about it.
Man, I swear, sometimes if I don't tell you about video game stuff, you just don't know.
I mean, I see it on social media, and then I'd be like, "Oh yeah, that happened."
That
But
did happen.
that's
Yeah.
I don't be like I don't be in the know like that, like you do, like you are.
Fair enough. So yeah, state of play happened. What's the new channel? The new channel is, oh, you know what? Here we go. Let's put some captions up for you guys as we're doing this stuff. This will help you guys out. I'll move this up and you can see how to follow some of our stuff.
Hey, that's a good price. Good job, Kate.
No, I don't like that one. Let's do that one. What's wrong with
Oh,
that?
you don't like that one?
Well, no, this one's fine. There was another one that we had before that was kind of doing whatever.
Okay,
So yeah.
I'm down. But go ahead. You were talking state of play. I'm listening. I can multitask.
Yeah. So it was about 30 minutes of third-party software or third-party companies announcing some titles for PlayStation. Word on the street, a lot of the scuttlebutt is people say it might have been the best state of play ever.
What?
Yeah, people are saying that. I've seen that from a couple different reputable places that I follow.
Come on.
And here's the thing: I won't say it's the worst one. I don't know if it's the best one. I
It's
think it
hot.
was. I, Interesting. I will ask you that in a second. What you think the best one was? I think it was pretty good. I was entertained by everything that I saw. I thought it had a good pace overall. It had a lot of different videos. For me, I found Street Fighter 6 is probably my hypest video moment out of all
Okay.
that stuff. I really like that. So yeah, I mean, just overall thoughts for you for State of Play.
I thought it was good. I thought it was solid. It wasn't. I'm not. I don't know what the best one is.
What the hell, you know,
I'm
if it's not this one?
because it didn't wow me. So there's no like if it
Has
didn't
any
wow
of
you
them
to
wowed you?
I think the one like when they announced because I've never been a God of War fan. Like I played the first one and I enjoyed it. So the CD when they did State of Play when they announced God of War, I was like, oh, like it really kind of like caught me off guard, and I was like, I like this. When they announced Last of Us, uh, Days Gone. Days Gone really got me because not a lot of video games have motorcycles in it, and the motorcycle mechanics really got me. And I just beaten that not too long ago, so I like Days Gone. Um, and the state of play that announced, because I want to say the state of play announced at the same time, Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima.
Hmm.
So I want to say maybe that was my favorite, the best one in my opinion. But this one didn't wow me because we already knew they were going to do Resident Evil 4. We knew Resident Evil 4 was coming. You're not going to do 2 and 3 and not do 4. We knew that was coming. The Callisto Protocol I really enjoyed, so I got to see gameplay for that. Uh, but the other games were like, oh, that's cool, but
Hmm.
it didn't like when I'm thinking the best. I'm thinking it stands the test of time. Like you're gonna remember that, and it was good. It was solid, but think about what they didn't show, and that's why I say it to me. It's not the best.
Now, in your mind, what did you want to see?
I would have liked to see more of the first party stuff. Like, what are you working on? Uh,
That's a different state of play.
I understand that.
Hmm.
That's why I said it's not the best state of play.
Okay. For me, I liked it because there was a wide range of stuff. In addition to Street Fighter 6, I really liked Seasons, the game. You don't really get to play a lot of games where you're a black woman. That's kind of cool. That's different.
Mhm.
And you're doing photography. I don't really know what the storyline of that's going to be, but it's a different take on something. So that's cool. I'm excited about that. So those were probably my two biggest standouts. Um,
I mean, if you're a horror fan,
mhm,
uh, you're in heaven right now because Callisto Project comes out at the end of the year. Dead Space comes out in January.
mhm.
Resident Evil 4 comes out. Then you've got uh you've still got whatever Microsoft is cooking up with Spore. Um there's a couple other games that are still in the pipeline, horror movie wise or horror game wise. But you have a lot to look forward to when it comes to the horror genre. But the thing that gets me is with the PS5 and with this state of play. Where's Pragmata? You bet you don't even remember what that was.
Yeah, I do. It's the one with the astronaut because everybody thought it was a Kojima game at first. It's from Capcom. That's not till
Yep.
2023 at the earliest.
So and that's why I said it's just one of those things where I was like, I want to know what your first party is doing because we know Microsoft is going to at least try to bring it June 12th, like
Well,
you
we've
told
already
us.
talked about this. The issue with that is the two games everybody wanted have been delayed.
This is the thing. I don't mind if they're delayed as long as you still show something for it.
Hmm.
You can. So here's the thing. You can still show something for Starfield,
Sure,
right? I
sure.
mean, you can show us gameplay. There's nothing wrong, and I have no problem with you delaying it and still showing us gameplay. That doesn't hurt me. My feelings or hurt me.
Okay. I'm
That
gonna show. Oh, go ahead. I'm just talking out loud. I'm gonna see if I can highlight
mm-mm.
comments for a second to see what happens as we try. Okay, cool.
Okay.
IMAX. I was shocked it was that short.
Which one?
I think
The
he's
state of
referring to
play or
probably
the games?
the state of play. I assume.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you was talking about because a lot of people complained about the Resident Evil 2 and 3 games were full price games for maybe a 6 to 10 hour campaign.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm in that same boat, man. I'm not paying 70, $60 for a game that's 10 hours.
Sure,
And
sure.
ain't nobody playing that Resistance multiplayer, whatever that thing was that we watched. Remember that where you play either a zombie or you the zombie saw, whatever that was.
Zombie Saw.
Remember it's like a 4 player co-op or whatever multiplayer that they paired with Resident Evil 3.
Oh, that game. I don't know if it's
Mhm.
out yet.
I thought that came with 3.
No, it was supposed to, and they got pushed back. It was called
Yeah.
RE Reverse or something like that. I
Yeah,
don't know
something
if it
like that.
came out actually. It might
Hmm.
maybe it out now, but yeah, it did. It was supposed to come out with three, and it got delayed.
Okay. And you're right. IMAX said the state of play as a whole. He was like, yeah, it was so short.
Yeah, chat. Let us know when as you all are watching these things. Are you following them up like time and time again, or are you waiting until like the day up to watch them. Because a lot of times, what a lot of these companies will do now is because they try to set people's expectations, they'll let you know in advance, like, hey, this is going to be 30 minutes. This is going to be focused on these type of games. That way, you're not as shocked. I'm just curious if you guys are following those, if you're following that information, or if you're just waiting until the day of and then you want to be surprised.
I'm like that. I want to be surprised. Like I want to
Okay.
like watch it and be like, oh, because that's how I found out when I texted you while you were at work. I was at work too, but you actually work. Um,
No comment.
I mean, uh, I like when I saw Callisto Protocol. That's when I was like, okay, I'm interested
Hmm.
because that's a game from Glenn Schofield that I was really waiting for and really anticipating because it is the successor of what Dead Space is. And I
Okay.
will say this: I was very much a person who was like, I don't want a remake of Dead Space. The game the way it was, I was cool with it. I've been watching it follow up on the dev reports for Dead Space and watching it. That's a day one game for me. And
Okay.
I'm a convert. I am really a convert because one, I love that game. I love the franchise. Where's my box at? There's a box right there of like PlayStation games. Hold on.
Hmm.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah. So as Leroy grabs his stuff, kind of seeing you guys in the chat, um, and chat, let me know what you are seeing on your screen because I'm seeing like director controls and stuff. But I'm curious, as you guys see it, do you see us along with your comments scrolling by, or is it just Leroy and myself? Let us know.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, that's what I was saying. Like I still got. I don't know if y'all can see that. The light
I saw
might.
the one of them, but yeah, the light is hitting that one hard. Is that a white cover?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, that light is hitting that hard. But it's Dead
it's
Space
Dead
one
Space
and two or
3.
whatever. Okay,
2 and 3. Yeah.
okay,
Um. So I mean, so I'm a convert, and that's why I said I didn't even see that. And
okay,
when we're talking about third party games, that's EA in that third
okay.
party. It's dropping in January. Um, I
What's
was
dropping in January? Dead
Greedfall.
Space.
Dead Space the remake is dropping in January
To me, that would
2023.
seem like it's probably not anymore. Now, I don't have any inside information, but I feel like maybe it isn't
And
because we
see, and
didn't see
that
it.
and see that's what I'm saying. So like, if you're doing third party, right? Uh, and I understand Call of Duty has their own world premiere on June 8th. I would have shown whatever that teaser mess that came out the day before. I
Hmm.
would have shown something Call of
Sure.
Duty. Um, hold on. Uh, hell, I would have ran this again.
I can't
Horizon
see what.
Zero
Oh,
Dawn.
Horizon.
I
They
would have
showed
ran
Horizon
Horizon.
stuff.
Yeah, they showed the VR stuff
Yeah, they also talked about
and the update. Yeah,
the new mode for
the
the sequel.
the free DLC.
Yeah.
I would have hyped Horizon Zero Forbidden West again. I would have hyped it up again and been like, hey, it's sold this many, it's done this. Like I would have reminded people that this game is out there because you actually brought up a very good point. The PSVR 2 ain't out yet. So you're over
Right.
here showing us games for a system that's not even out. Do we even have a price point what this thing is going to be?
We don't have a price
So
and we don't have a date, but
see,
it seems like it's probably going to be 2022 only because some of those games said 2022. And like you said, you're not going to put out a game without a console for it to be played on.
and that's why I said for me it wasn't the best state of play because there was so much stuff missing and so many things. And if I'm Sony, I'm especially considering I know on June 12th Microsoft is going to drop something. I would have paid Activision, hey, before this goes down, we're still cross platform. Let us have that Modern Warfare teaser, whatever, because they're blowing all of these things on YouTube. So they have one with uh, Trey Young. They have one with who's the dude who's dating Kim Kardashian from SNL.
Pete Davidson.
Yeah, Pete Davidson is in one. They got a whole bunch of different little vignettes. Put one of those in state of play.
Um, all right, so let's do. I guess we can do a breakdown by breakdown here, and these
Okay.
aren't in order of what I thought of them. These are in order of how I remember them as I wrote them down. So the first
Okay.
one out of the gate, and this was actually the first one that showed, was Resident Evil 4, the remake, the remaster remake that's been rumored for years now. We finally have a date. I think it was March 24th of next year.
What's funny about that is RE4 remake was rumored before the RE2 and 3 remakes. People have been calling for those for that game before the other two.
Sure. Yeah. Um, y'all in the chat know I don't really do scary stuff that well. That's not my bag. I don't like the way that makes me feel. I'll watch somebody else play it, but I don't really play it for myself. Having said that, this excites me, and I would watch a let's play of it. Like if Leroy, actually, you know what? We should do that for the channel, Leroy. If you want to play that game, we should play it on the Twitch channel. I'll just watch you play it and comment with you or something. But
All right.
I think it looks pretty cool.
I'll get some adult diapers and get a little pee going.
There we go. Yeah. Um, I think
Did
it's.
you hold on? Did you play the original RE4?
I play parts of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Um, I like what they do with these remakes, where they kind of remix the story a little bit and add more content. And from
Hmm.
this trailer, it seems like they're definitely doing more connective tissues between RE4 and Resident Evil Village, the one that
Yes,
just came out, which is like, because like, oh, this is interesting how they're trying to tie those in together more.
but you remember when Village came out, everybody was like, "Is this RE4?" Because they looked so similar, and it
Hmm.
was the whole idea behind it. People really thought Village was the direct successor to Resident Evil 4,
Yeah,
which a lot of people still hold up as one of the best RE games ever. They
yeah.
feel like they, after everything, what is it, Codename Veronica, all those other games, um, RE4 kind of brought it all back and got back into the whole survival horror.
I'm gonna highlight one comment here for a second. Kai, does
Hmm.
this
Kyler Jones.
Tyler Jones
Hmm.
ask, would you play the Quarry? That would be fun to watch you guys play. That one I could probably get behind because it's the same people that did oh man, what was it? Until Dawn, the one that was like
Hmm.
PS4 and it had like a lot of up and coming actors. Had like Rami Malek in it. Um, all I could think of was Rami Malek because he's an Oscar winner now, but it had a bunch of actors like that in it. And it's essentially you're playing like a teen horror game,
Yeah.
like live action thing. I could be up for playing that. Us making decisions, commenting on it and stuff. I would be down for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
They said it's not a direct sequel to uh, the game you were just talking about, but I mean, I've never played any of those games, so it'd be fun to play
Yeah, sorry.
and get a
If
good
I said it
insight.
was a direct sequel, I just meant it's made by the same people.
No, 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 you didn't. I'm just saying it wasn't a direct sequel,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's in the same vein.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Um, like I said, RE4, I was interested in, um, because I enjoyed RE4. Matter of fact, I don't know if I've told the story before, but a buddy of mine, we swapped consoles because he was so into that game. He was like, I'm gonna let you borrow my GameCube so you can play RE4.
Okay.
He was like, that's how good RE4 was. My homeboy Justin Martin, he was like, you because I played one and two and I was like, I never liked the controls, but he was like, yo, for the story is worth it to get
Hmm.
past the controls. And I was like, we'll see. And I it actually got me back into Resident Evil.
Okay. Um, next thing I had on my list was Spider-Man Remastered is coming to PLC along to PLC to PC along with the DLC from the Spider-Man game.
Um, that was I'm trying to see who said that that was the game that they were actually excited about.
Yeah, I saw that had that in chat saying that a while ago. I saw that too. I think that's interesting. I just recently got a PS4 or not a PS4, a PC, like a pretty standard PC. I'm still waiting to get a graphics card for the prices to come down, but I got a reasonable PC with a good processor and stuff in it to stream more
Brian
and do
B.
stuff like that. Yeah, Brian B said that. So I still can't do like high intensity. Did you highlight a comment?
I was trying to highlight Brian B's. Yeah,
There we go.
Brian B said that.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. So Once I get a graphics card, I'll be playing probably more graphics intensive games. So I think it's
Hmm.
cool that Sony is trying to partner up with PC because Microsoft has been doing PC stuff for so long, and Game Pass Ultimate can do whatever. I think Sony's trying to get in that space, and I think
They have to.
yeah, I think it's an interesting way to double dip, right? Like after you sold so many millions of copies on your console to try and get PC people to play it as well. I think it's cool. And with PC stuff, you're going to get people modding, which is awesome. I don't know if you've seen like the videos of like God of War Kratos fighting Master Chief because somebody has
Hmm.
instead of fighting the stranger, he's fighting Master Chief. It's pretty cool stuff like that.
Hmm. Ken from Chicago is right. I was not a fan of the white spider symbol, but after a while, it has come to grow on me, and and whenever I see it, I know that's the Spider-Man game logo. Like I know that's the Spider-Man,
Sure.
the PlayStation, the Sony Spider-Man. So I'm down with that. He's right about that.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Um, I'm wondering how far they're going to go, and have they done any first party games that have a? Oh, I guess that would be Death Stranding is on PC now, right?
Yes,
Yes,
maybe,
and
not
that has a
sure.
multiplayer. I'm pretty sure it is, and that has a multiplayer component. I'm wondering, is it can PC players play the multiplayer component with console players? I'm curious about that. If you're in the chat, let me know.
Not sure. But
Yeah.
you're right. There, Sony is going to have to start being accommodating the PC gamers because one, there's a crap ton of them, and
Hmm.
two, you need you need that income.
Yeah.
You can't just because you have a 10 million subscriber base or console base. You're Microsoft isn't just solely saying you can only play our games on an Xbox. They're like, hey man, you got a PC, you can play our games. You got a cell phone, you can play our games. You got a tablet, you can play our games.
Hmm.
So Sony's going to have to get out of there. I mean, Sony is going to change. Nintendo, not so much. Nintendo's like, you go buy the same game 37 times
Yeah,
at the
they know you
same
will.
price. Yep.
When will there be a Spider Gwen PS5? Yet I'm wondering if Spider Gwen maybe doesn't show up in Spider-Man 2 whenever that comes out. That could be interesting.
Um, I'm shocked. You know what? I'm actually not shocked. I was going to say I was shocked that they did not start putting different characters into the Avengers game. Um, but um, the way that game was set up, I they're just pissing away money. Because if you were smart, you would have put Deadpool in the game. You see what I'm saying? You would have put different characters in the game, and honestly, you would have made them. Hey, we got spam.
I got
Yes.
spam. Way to go. That's cool. That's
Hey
awesome.
man, when you know what that means? When you get spam, people noticed you.
People noticed
That's
you.
how I
There
feel.
we go. All right, that's what's
Yep,
up.
that's
Where
what
are
I'm
the
talking about.
mods? I love it.
How do we kick this person out? Are you on?
I'm going through now. Let's see.
Okay.
There we go.
I'm just saying. Once you get the spam,
Yeah,
once you get
that's
the
fun.
sex bots,
Everything's
that lets
yeah.
you
It's all
that lets you
game.
know you made it. Hmm.
Um, what was I gonna say though?
But
Talking
the
about
Avengers game, we were talking about that. But like that's
yeah.
what you should have done. And this is the thing. Don't put the cosmetics, the super weird stuff behind a paywall, whatever. But you could have done $10. You get this character. How many people would have paid $10 to play Spider Gwen or Deadpool? And that's the one
I
thing that I'm
I
like,
totally agree with you. I think they have bigger issues in the characters, and that the game is fun for 2 hours and then you're done. I think in my mind, I think they're trying to figure out what that gameplay loop is going to be like, and then they'll add the characters.
uh,
Because I don't
because I'm
think
gonna
they
tell you
can.
right now,
I don't think they can keep people playing the game long enough to add new characters. But go ahead.
I would like to know how many people are still playing that game, considering Guardians of the Galaxy is a superior game. And I was not interested in Guardians of the Galaxy in the least because of the way Avengers was.
Kyler Jones is the new channel. You know what? Let's highlight that so we can talk about that for a second.
Okay.
Show. Here we go. Is the new channel replacing News 19 Nerds? Yes and no. So for those who don't know, behind the scenes, we used to both work at the same station in Columbia. That's where we started News 19 Nerds. I'm working
Hmm.
now at a television station in Charlotte, but we still wanted to continue to do content. But
Yep.
because News 19 Nerds is owned by the company, and rightfully it should be, we've used all their cameras and their equipment, so that's fine. We wanted to start our own channel where we could have our own voice, be a little more crazy. Leroy can say whatever he wants.
I
And
can drink on
also,
camera.
yeah, you can. And also, if we wanted to take money from you guys because you thought we were doing a good job, we could do that. We couldn't really do that so much with the News 19 Nerds channel because, again, that's owned by a corporation, and that's stuff that we can't really get into. So we are
And
charged.
eventually we want to sell merch.
Who knows? Maybe, yeah. So we started the We Trying channel to have our own say and do that kind of stuff. And
We want to do giveaways. We want to have merch. We want to have our own website. We want to take over the world.
I mean, okay, lofty goals. I won't say it won't happen, but sure. Um,
Sir, shoot for the stars, and if you miss, you at least at the moon. No,
okay,
wait, that's backwards. Shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you're still among the stars. My bad. My bad, y'all.
yeah,
That's on me.
yep. So yeah, we are going to. Dang, Damien Hernandez coming in here.
How you
Um,
kick him out? Bring the porn back.
no,
Kick Damien
but
Hernandez out.
but yeah. So what was I saying? Yeah. So we starting the We Trying channel to do our own thing. We're going to continue to do some stuff for News 19 Nerds. We're still working that out. I think
Yeah.
Lear's working on that behind the scenes.
Mhm.
And I think we're pretty open on our channels, right? So when stuff happens, we'll
They're
let you
back.
know. They
I
came
told
back.
you, man. I told. See, when the porn comes, that means we about to take off right there. Because let me tell
Yeah.
you, porn wants money, and they think we got money, so they think we made it. Or it just could be they just send it out to everybody. I mean, I feel special. Um,
Yeah.
but also to give you guys a heads up, we're gonna do the best I can. Michael's been doing a really good job of posting, so we'll tape stuff and with our we trying page because we trying, but it is a struggle. My wife is pregnant right now. The reason why we were late and I wasn't able to be here early to test this, because so this is kind of like a test run. I'm going to go on paternity leave for 6 weeks. So in order to use the News 19 Nerd stuff, I'd have to go back to the station,
He
and
ain't doing
I ain't
that.
going back to the station. I ain't going back to the station.
Let's highlight a thing for a second. This is the
But
best. Ken from Chicago said, "No, that's not the one I want. I love that one, Damien Hernandez, but this is the one I want."
yeah,
Again,
yeah, man. Um,
I love
Black
it.
people don't have a long life expectancy, so I got to get these kids out the way now. Um, so I wasn't going back to the station to tape this. And I wasn't going to ask Michael to keep coming back because there may be times I may not be able to make it to the station. So we were like, yo, let's start our own channel and we can do it from the comfort of our homes. And hey, man, I'm getting it snipped after this. Not rapping it. It's mm-mm.
Oh man, I love it.
Nope. I'm not about to slip. These kids are expensive. Man, let me hold on. Let me show y'all real quick. Let me tell you how expensive these kids are. I got kicked out of my own room. This is the baby's room. This is his room. All of my stuff is out. Tonight, when I get off of this channel with y'all, I gotta go and put all my stuff in the attic, the garage, and some of it my wife has allowed me to keep in our bedroom. So there's a Spawn action figure. Um, Captain Carter is oh yeah, I put Captain Carter somewhere in the living room. We'll see if my wife notices that. So I've been stashing little nerd stuff all over the house. But yeah, but I was like, I'm not gonna put Michael through that, telling him, hey man, let's go. We got to go to the station. Like, nah, we can just sit at home. I can be in my drawers if I want. Y'all may see me feeding the baby while we do this one day.
Oh, I was wondering where you're gonna say because you started with "I'm being my draws." Like, where is this going? Okay, fair
Oh
enough.
no, I told
Okay,
you the Patreon. Until we get that set up, they're not gonna get this. The we trying after dark. Um, Ape, Kim, more money. No, more money, more problems. More kids, more problems.
there
So
we go.
so yeah. So the whole idea behind the we trying channel is for us to be able to control our own destiny Golly, I said it. I hate that freaking phrase.
I mean,
Because if it's destiny,
it's.
you can't control it. I hate that phrase. Sports people say it all the time, and I hate it. Um,
I want to go back to a comment.
what?
What was it? Having two things people were talking about was I don't know. Somebody was talking about Avenger stuff because you brought up Avengers, and somebody was talking about they would love having alternate characters for stuff for Avengers.
So yeah, so that's basically Kyler. That should answer your question. Anybody else coming in? That's where we stand right now. So to go back to Avengers,
Oh, also, Kyler
it
Jones
would be
gave us a
great.
shout out.
Yeah,
Kyler Jones said they started their own channel because of us. That's awesome. That's
yeah.
very cool that you
Hey
started
man,
based on us. Man,
hey
let me tell
man,
you, I enjoy what me and Leroy do, but there are better people that do it a lot better than us. But I'm glad we helped you to start your own channel.
I'm gonna tell you right now. This doing your own channel honestly is a stress relief because
Sure.
it allows you to connect with people. Because honestly, like people like David Cooper, Kim from Chicago, Breck Warren, Damien Hernandez, IMAX, all of these people that we've met through the channel has
Hmm.
helped us, and they've helped each other. IMAX, when he had stuff going on in his family, the chat was of people who reached out and were like, "Yo," even when they see people, this has helped me mentally because now I have nerve people to talk to, and we don't always agree, and that's fine. We all have difference of opinion, but you know what, Kyler, more power to you, man. you
We
know
don't always agree,
do
but I
you,
feel like we are at least cordial with each other,
and we're
which is
respectful. That's
yes,
the one.
we because you don't get enough of that on
Mhm.
social media. But yeah,
Kim from
man, what we
Chicago,
talking
if
about
it
today?
pays, I would. If it paid, I would do it.
Where did we leave off? Last thing we talked about was Spider Man. Yeah.
Mhm.
So we talked about Horizon Forbidden West for a second, but yeah, they talked about Horizon Forbidden West update. You're getting a new game plus. You're getting more weapons and trophies. I think.
Notice what they said, and this is the thing we talked about it in the actual state of play. Free update. They
Yeah.
made a point to say free update, which lets us know in the future some of these updates may not be free,
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that.
and
Like if
that's
they
something we need.
do DLC, I think that yeah, that makes sense.
True, but when I'm not talking about DLC, I'm talking about just updates in general, fixing the game. I got a bad feeling that could be something that somebody's going to try and be like, "Hey, for 4.99, we'll fix these bugs." And you know who to be the first person to do it? The
I
first
don't
group to
think
do it?
that's ever gonna happen. I would
EA.
I would
You
bet
don't.
something for you. I don't think
You
anybody would
don't.
ever try and charge you, and the reason why is because you're gonna get a class action lawsuit. There's no way in the
You don't.
world you can
You.
feasibly release a game to a public and then say, "Oh, there are a bunch of bugs that we could have fixed before." Because what's gonna happen is if you do that, you're gonna get the actually people who are gonna go in and data mine and realize
I.
they could have fixed it before it went gold. So if you could have fixed it
I.
before it went gold, you're gonna get a class action lawsuit. Go ahead.
I agree with you in everything you said.
Uh-huh.
Until CD Projekt Red dropped Cyberpunk 2077 broken, and EA tried to get us with Battlefront.
True, but in both those cases, they didn't charge you for
Nope, they
the
didn't.
updates.
What they tried to do was they tried to so CD we know CD Projekt Red got us with just delivering a broken game,
Sure.
and they with everything they did. EA tried to get us with their loot boxes as they called it, in the microtransactions. Somebody's gonna try it. So like because it's just it's one of those things where it's one of those things
Mm,
someone's gonna do it. It's just somebody in some boardroom, some money people are sitting around thinking, why are we doing these updates for free?
mhm.
And someone is gonna do it. I just don't know who. If somebody had put a gun to my head, it would be EA. It would be. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Like Kyler Jones says, no, Kyler Jones says I could see EE charging the old gen buyers for updates to Madden that they normally wouldn't get. I could see that. I could see some game developer trying it because we've seen some dastardly stuff in the past.
Okay. That's all I can say is okay. Like I just don't see it happening just from a pure like somebody tries it once and then nobody tries it again. I don't think if
Oh
that were to
yeah.
be the case.
Oh, I agree. I agree. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I'm just saying I'm expecting someone to try it.
Okay.
I
All
don't.
right.
Yeah. I don't. I just expect someone to try to pull it off, and then the rest of the community will just it'll be a stop. But we've seen stuff like this.
Uh-oh, you still there? Uh-oh. Leroy froze for a second, y'all. Leroy had to come back in a second. I think he is still not doing what I told him to do in terms of having a hardwired connection. So he froze. I love it. I'm going to take him off the screen for a second while he reboots. And it'll just be me for a little bit until he comes back on quality. Let me know. The man got to Leroy. Yep, there we go. That's right. Okay. He's coming in again, I think. There we go.
What happened?
You
I froze it.
froze. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was telling him he didn't hardline like I told him to.
I can't.
Sir,
Not yet.
you can
I ain't
run
got
the
a key.
cable.
I hadn't got the long enough cable. They hadn't opened that box in that place for me to get it yet.
As you were saying the words like, "Oh, this is where he's gonna." Okay, there we go. Okay, fair enough. Um, Speaking of Madden, what's your thoughts on the new Madden cover? I think it's cool. I think it's cool. John Madden's going to be on three different game covers. Why not?
Because ain't nobody want to be on it because they don't want to get hurt.
I mean, that could be it too, for sure. But Madden football is an institution. Like people who don't know video games but know football know there's a Madden football. So I
True.
mean, yeah, let that man be on the cover. Why not? Um, let's see.
So what's the
Uh,
next one? What was the next
oh,
game?
yeah, yeah. I kind of like this the way we have this set up because it's so much easier for me to see chat as it happens, and it just
Hmm.
makes you kind of go off on tangents and stuff. But anyway, the next thing, so after in between like Horizon Forbidden West and Resident Evil stuff, they announced a bunch of VR stuff. They talked about VR
Hmm.
content was coming to Resident Evil 4 along with Resident Evil 8. Some people would argue that the VR probably should have come out when Resident Evil 8 came out at the beginning because I think it did for 7. So it was weird that it didn't for 8, but who knows what the development cycle is. You also got No Man's Sky VR, which I thought was a totally different game, but Leroy knew what it was. Um, you got Horizon Call of the Mountain VR, and you got Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2. And I think the subtitle might have been Retribution or something, but all that stuff is in VR. And I think all of it was coming to PSVR 2, not the original PlayStation VR. We still don't have a price. Oh, Leroy in this chat, or Leroy in this thing. We'll pop him off as he fixes that. Um, there was a there was no price given and no date, but some of that stuff said 2022, which leads me to believe we are going to get that stuff in 2022. Chat, let me know if you guys are excited for VR. I think VR is going to be cool. I've enjoyed PlayStation VR. I really like Beat Saber on that a lot, and I've had Leroy and some other people from work over, and they had fun playing Beat Saber. Some of them even enjoy playing Tetris in VR. So I mean, I think it's cool, and I'm excited to see what VR 2 is for PlayStation.
I need to
So
know
while
how
you
much it's
jumped
going
off,
to
I
cost.
essentially okay, there we go. Yeah, if I had to guess,
I need to know how
I
much it's
would
going to cost.
say, you know what? We both have computers right now. I'm going to look up what VR costs right now. PlayStation VR costs. PSVR. PSVR is 249.99, and that is a bundle that comes with the VR headset, the Iron Man game, the camera, and the two motion wands. So if I had to
Mm.
guess, I feel like PSVR 2 might be maybe the same price, and they dropped the price of PSVR
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Go
because
back. Hold on.
go
You
back
said
to
it's 250 right now.
a PlayStation VR, the original one, is 250. That's the headset, the wands, the camera, and a game.
That's because that's dropped down from 350.
Yeah. True, it was that for a while, but it's
Yeah,
been 250 for a minute.
that's what
I've
I'm
seen
saying.
that
I don't
price
think
for
it's
at
go.
least a little.
I don't think it's going to be 250. I think it's going to be 350.
That is so wild to think
Two?
because, well, so it's essentially just $50 cheaper than a PS5 without the disc. That's a big swing.
Okay, 300. But
I feel
what
like
I'm saying
300.
is you're not. I'm saying you can't charge 250 for the same thing. Hold on, sorry, let me backtrack. You're not going to charge 250 for one generation, and one is the next generation up. You see what I'm saying? So
Oh
like,
yeah, I think what I was saying with that though is they would make it 250 and then drop this thing down too.
okay,
That in my
mm,
mind, that in
okay.
the my perfect scenario, they would make PSVR 250. The original VR might be 150 or something. But yeah, you might be right. Maybe 350. That's wild.
Uh, so after the VR stuff, what else happened that you were like, what happened next?
Okay, so VR, we talked about that. The next thing I have written down, which is your baby, Callisto Protocol. It looked cool. I definitely close my eyes every once in a while. You know what we didn't say? Hey, y'all, if y'all want to see our reaction to the state of play, it is on our new We Trying channel. So be sure to check it out there. But yeah, I have my
I'll
eyes
drop
closed
the
every
link.
once in a while. There we go. We can do that now. Um, but it looks like I said, it looks crazy. It looks gory. You really enjoyed it.
I
Um,
did.
you
I
did,
did.
and this is one you've been following for a while. So tell us a little bit about this.
I have. We have
Uh oh, you
no
froze
idea
up.
yet. We just know.
Uh huh.
We know it's made from Glenn Schofield, who was one of the developers behind Dead Space. He started his own company called Striking Distance. This is his first new game from this company. Um, I'm excited for it. He's going back to survival horror. If I remember correctly, he was Dead Space has a lot of design as far as like survival horror that we originally got from the game we were talking about earlier, Resident Evil. This idea of this sound playing such a big part of the horror, the idea of like you clear a room and you think you're safe and you're really not safe. That idea was, it's not an original idea, but the idea kicked it up a notch with Dead Space.
Hmm.
So Callisto Protocol is the evolution of him trying something new. We know that Dead Space is going to get a remake that comes out next year, 2023. Michael thinks it's going to be delayed because we didn't see it. I have no reason to doubt him because he's been right before.
And I didn't think about this too. I don't think EA has announced. So you know, a bunch of companies will announce like some sort of press conference during the summer. EA, I think, has already said there will not be an EA Play this year. That would have been the time for them to do announcements. So I think that's kind of interesting. That maybe there's like, oh,
Also,
we don't have enough stuff to show.
but remember, EA says, "Hey, somebody can buy us.
That's true.
Don't. What about us?" So I mean,
That's
EA was like, EA was like lifting its shirt, showing some skin, some shoulder, like it's
wow.
back in the day. They
Yeah,
were, I mean, they saw all these deals going down. They were like, "Y'all buying Activision? What
yeah.
about me?" So, I mean, that may be part of it as well. But anyway, Callisto Project or Protocol. I apologize. I keep saying project. Um, Survival horror is a big genre, and this game, if done right, could be the next big thing. It could be the next franchise because Resident Evil basically has survived the test of time. They've gotten out of survival horror when they did 5 and 6,
You remember
and then
Alone in
they
the Dark?
came back. Yep, yep.
I don't know if it came out before or after, or really close to when Resident Evil came out. But Alone in the Dark was a horror game I remember, and I was just like,
Hmm.
huh. And they made a movie about it too. I think Tara Reid was in it. I didn't see. It. I just remember like, oh,
Hmm.
that's what you
Yep.
got. I guess the best you could do.
I want to say Christian Slater was in it too.
That sounds right. I feel
I
like I
want
can
to.
remember the trailer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Um.
It's bad.
Oh, I can imagine it is. Chris says Street Fighter 6, the only thing I'm looking for. Chris, we will get to that. That is on the list. I just don't know where I wrote it. But yeah, we will talk about that because I'm looking forward to that as well.
So yeah,
One thing
so
about,
Callisto
yeah,
Protocol,
go ahead.
but so Callisto Protocol could be the next big survival horror franchise. We don't know yet. It depends on the gameplay, depends on the reception, but it's gotten a lot of buzz. So
Sure,
that actually seeing gameplay was actually a good thing because before all we saw was this nice mocked up trailer,
sure,
and we know how that goes.
yeah,
You can show us a trailer all you want to, but until we see in game engine gameplay, got a sense of how the game will actually operate, nobody cares.
right. And one thing I did notice, again, somebody who doesn't play a lot of horror games, I definitely could see the Dead Space influences right away because it seemed like the main character had a green collar around their neck, and it kind of reminded me of the health meter on Isaac on because his like health meter was on his back, right? Isn't that like how you knew
Yeah,
how much health you had? Yeah, like
yeah, the
instead of having
engineering
like
suit. Yep.
a HUD display or whatever, they like made it as part of the in-game environment, which was cool. So I'm wondering if that
Damien
green collar,
Hernandez.
what Damien Hernandez say?
I just put it up there for you.
Oh, yeah,
Damien
pimping
Hernandez.
themselves out.
This stream is going wherever will take my kids to college. Whatever I got to do to put these boys through school,
There we
Dad
go.
is going to do.
Okay. Next game up is Roller Drome, which
Hey,
when it first
oh,
started,
porn's back.
man, what is this? They're just going
I'm
hard.
telling you, man, we made it.
Well, you know what, too? We're also streaming later than we normally stream. I did know, I would say that as well. So it's like, okay,
Is that when the porn comes out?
I don't know. But I just feel like it's
No,
later, so people
hold
are
up.
in doing whatever.
Whoa, whoa. No spoilers for Boys season 3 yet. I hadn't started watching it yet, guys.
Oh, oh,
I'm gonna
Leroy.
start tonight. I'm gonna start
You know,
tonight.
yeah, we were talking about how like both Peacemaker and Watchmen are like the best comic book stuff out there.
Hmm.
We
Yeah.
didn't mention the Boys when we talked about that, and we should have because Boys is I think it's good and it's consistent over 3 seasons so far.
The reason why we didn't mention it because we were talking about the big two, DC and Marvel,
Oh, okay,
and
that's what it was.
if you include other things, Umbrella Academy has brought it every season, and you're right, The Boys has brought it every season.
Yeah, yeah. No spoilers for season 3, but man, like the first 15 minutes, you're like, what is happening on this show?
See, I'm IMAX says now the porn bots are out in the afternoon too, but
I
we
don't know.
have never been hit this hard.
No, no. But the next game on the list is Roller Drome,
Yep.
which when I first saw the trailer, I thought it looked like Sable, a game I've never
Hmm.
played. I just know what it. I know it's called Sable, and it had that same type of art style. Like, what is this? Roller Drome looks cool. I like any game that gives me a different type of locomotion or moving through the environment. So I would be happy to play a game where I'm on roller skates. I really love Jet Ground Radio and Jet Set Radio and tagging up whatever futuristic Neo Tokyo type city that was or whatever. But the
Hmm.
idea of rolling around in like a roller rink on skates and shooting people in the face seems pretty cool.
They also had some wall running in some of the gameplay,
Hmm.
and I thought that was pretty cool. And I just enjoyed the way it was a different look and a different design.
Hmm. Yeah,
So I
because
that
yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Oh, I was gonna say, as much as I thought of Sable, again, I only thought of one game because so in my mind, only the only other game that kind of looks like that is Sable. I can't think of anything else. So if you're one of two out of millions of games, it's not a bad look. Not a bad look at all.
Now, when did Zelda Fox come? Because Tunic looked good, and you'd been telling me to play that, and I'm really
Tunic is on the
interested in
list.
that.
We can hit Tunic
Okay.
now.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll go to Tunic. Tunic has been on Xbox for maybe 2 months or so, and
Hmm.
I'm curious. Well, I guess we can know whatever the exclusivity was because it comes September 27th on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. I've told people in the chat before about Tunic. I've been telling my coworkers about Tunic, and they've been playing it too. Tunic is really fun. It's kind of a mystery about what's going on. The big hook of it is it's the whole game language is a different language from English. There are a few words that are in English, but most of it is a different language that you can't really understand from the beginning. And you collect pages that kind of help you decipher what's going on. A lot of fun, kind of a Dark Souls light. The combat isn't that great in the game, but there are accessibility options to kind of make the combat be nothing if you just want to play for the story and the puzzles.
Okay.
So yeah,
So
Tunic.
Zelda
Uh,
Fox is worth it,
yeah,
is
I
what you're
think so.
telling us.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you haven't already played it, get it. Um, the thing I was gonna say is I was curious how long an exclusivity window Microsoft had on it. I thought they would have tried to get it to go longer than just I. If I
Too
had to
much?
guess, well, no, it'll be more than 2 months because if it was 2 months ago, it's coming out September. That's like what 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought they would have tried to
Gotta
get at
start
least
using.
at least a year
Start.
exclusivity. But I guess you do what you can.
Okay.
It's fine. Um,
Next.
let's see. Next is
Yes. Was it Stray?
no. I mean, that's not what I wrote. I mean, again, this isn't the order of how it happened. This is just how I remembered it in my mind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. This is the order of how it happened. So the next one I
I
have
was
written
thinking we
down.
were going.
No, no, no. The next one I have written down
Okay.
was Eternites or Eternites
And that said, it was the hook was role playing
slash
mixed
dating sim.
with what?
Dating sim.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um, I'm excited for that. I've really gotten. I think I told the chat before months ago. It might have been last year. Yeah, it was last year. I really got into Persona, Persona, Persona 5.
Persona 5.
Yeah. Um, something about going to school every day for some reason that really got to me. I don't know what it was. Going to school in Japan was awesome, and just living a
Did
life
you
of
like
a
school?
not really. I did in the
That
video
might be
game
why.
form. I don't
That might be
maybe
why.
maybe it was, but it was fun chatting up these people, increasing my relationship bonds with all my characters to strengthen them and stuff. I'm hoping you do the same thing in this. I like the art style of it. The voice acting was a little kind of but to be fair, it's an anime, so I'm not expecting too much based on that type of anime.
What I'm
Um,
wondering is the one of the things we talked because they didn't tell you it was a JRPG mixed with a dating sim. There was this kind of like weird thing where they were kind of like the guy had an arm that got cut off, and then it was like an energy weapon, and then it was an arm, but then it was like it turned into like a squiggly thing, and it almost looked like a phallic thing. And then the girl was like, "Oh," and we were like, "What is this?" So I'm
hmm,
wondering how far they're going into this, considering it's a dating app. Like, I don't want to be grotesque, but it's like the way it looked. I was like, "Are they sending blank pics? Like is that
did you
like
ever
I guess what
play?
I'm saying is
Did you ever play Catherine?
no, but it's actually in my queue
Oh,
back
okay.
here.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
game by Atlas that has like it's a puzzle game slash dating kind of mechanic where you're essentially dating two
Mhm.
girls named Catherine. One is a little disturbed, and one is kind of more, I guess, straight and narrow. And I think they
Mhm.
did a DLC where a third Catherine character was introduced. But in that game, kind of got racy at times with stuff with adult
Really?
situations and whatnot. So
And see, that's what I was wondering because I was like, because when we were watching, I literally called it Legend of the Overfiend because it was like it had this. Not that you saw the phallic symbols destroying cities like that, um, but I will say that the way the characters were set up, the way the city line was set up, it just reminded me of that kind of like a combination of Legend of the Overfiend, kind of like a Godzilla theme, and then especially with the whole arm thing squiggly, and then the girl going ugh, and the way it looked like he had kind of pulled his pants down, even though we know he didn't. And
mhm.
then when they talked about the whole dating sim, I was like, it's still a Japanese game, so I didn't know if they're tentacles, but we know what they are.
Yeah.
um, so it's just one of those things where I'm just wondering how risque are they going to get with that game,
Two
especially
things. Go ahead.
and but that goes back to Damian Hernandez's question, and I want to highlight it real quick. He goes, "Here we go," and because they kind of play off each other. He says, "Question: Sorry for asking. Didn't mean to get political, but was everything happening with the shootings? Do y'all think video games and movie shows are going to do any changes?" That kind of brings up reason why I brought up the Ethernet nights. It's these games are in development for years, right?
Hmm.
So certain things that have happened, like right now, are not going to affect or change what they do in the next Call of Duty that comes out. Does that make sense? So it's like, how long in development was this game before something like Me Too happened? You see what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Like, because like like Damien Hernandez asked, and no, I understand what you're trying to say, Damien. Not to get political, but yes, those real world consequences. It does change the way we do have games because everybody remembers, um, not night. Was it Night Moves? Night Trap.
Hmm.
Remember that from Sega CD and how that just totally changed how video games and now Night Trap looks, it's tame compared to some of the stuff that we've seen. Um,
I would say nothing's going to change because we've had shootings for decades now. Unfortunately, they continue to happen, and games continue to get more and more violent and more gruesome and everything. Um,
yeah.
I'm not going to. I am a person that does not believe necessarily violent video games tend to make people violent. I do think
Also, there
being in
is
certain
proof to that.
situations, yeah, but I also think it's a different situation for everybody. I'm not saying that
Mhm.
somebody couldn't be influenced by things, but I don't think playing a video game will directly lead you to do something violent. I think it's up to the person. And
True.
I think that movies and video games are not going to change. Somebody said you're going to get warnings, and if you look at it, yeah, like Stranger Things season 4 and Obi-Wan both had warnings in front of their first episodes after
Hmm.
the Uvalde shootings. I think
and
that's what
and
you're
I
going
can
to
see
get.
why.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, they definitely can trigger stuff for sure. I finally started watching Stranger Things, and I saw it's like, oh yeah, this is what he was
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about.
See,
But I don't think stuff will change unless lawmakers do stuff, and that's all I got to say about it. But
and I will say this. We just so for those people who don't realize we both work at a news station. Tegna does for our station. Tegna has a series. It's called Verify. Basically, somebody will say something on social media, or a politician will say. Basically, anybody will say something, and then Tegna will have has a Verify team where they'll take that statement or and they'll investigate and see, is this true. So they'll call a bunch of people, and we've seen this before. Do video games cause violence? And the Verify basically took all of this to the CDC. They have a story about it, and they're like, no, it does not. There is no evidence that shows a direct link to any of these things. So, and just to drop a comedian's line, how in the world do video games cause violence when they've never caused sport? I've been playing Madden for I don't know how many years, and I've never wanted to take a snap.
hmm
I've never played Madden and thought, you know what? Let me run across the middle real quick. It's not happening. There is not a plethora of people running out there dying to be on the football field or NBA 2K. Like, people are still going to college to be lawyers, doctors. It is not. We do not have a plethora of people trying to get into the NBA. So that I mean, that's all we'll say about that. But
yeah. Another
so
comment somebody brought up was
go ahead.
somebody was talking about because as we were talking about great comic book stuff, we didn't bring up Invincible, and Invincible has was a good season of on Amazon.
Yes, yeah. So Invincible, Umbrella Academy, uh, and The Boys. Because when
Yeah.
we talked about the best TV shows, we were talking about the big two, Marvel and DC. And because again, Invincible, very close to the original subject matter. Boys, to me, Boys is better than the comic, and that's not a lot of times I say that the comic is better or superior. Or go read the comic. I would recommend you watching The Boys versus the comic because I'm gonna be honest with you, The Boys can get a little, if you think the show is wild, go read the comic. The comic is over the top, I think, than the show,
Yeah.
and that's just my opinion. So what's the next? What's the next game?
Next game
Hmm.
we did Eternights. What I wrote down was Final Fantasy 16.
And you were excited about this.
I was excited about this because I finally finished Final Fantasy 15. I haven't played all of the mainline Final Fantasy games. I played a good chunk of them.
Hmm.
There's no secret on the chat. I famously said, I really hate Final Fantasy
Seven.
7, the original one. But I have liked the remake that they did. I was like, oh, this is a cool way to tell this story and to
Hmm.
kind of fix some of the translation stuff and really get me into it. So yeah, my favorite Final Fantasy has always been Final Fantasy VI. Kefka, Ultimate Bad Guy, he was awesome. But this looks cool, and the reason why I like it is because I like the gameplay and the like the moment to moment battles for Final Fantasy 15. It looks like it's like kind of repeating some of that same stuff in terms of how the scale is. I like the idea of these huge Esper or summon battles between like Ifrit and Shiva. Who else was there? Odin,
Bahamut.
Titan, Bahamut. Yeah, all that kind of stuff. It looks really good to me.
To me, and I don't know if it was because I hadn't kept up with it. I have watched the movie, so what Final Fantasy drops a movie, I'll watch it. It
Hmm.
reminded me of the animation style behind the movie Kingsglaive that came out not too long ago, and I wonder they is this does this tie into that in any way, shape, or form? And also, is this the new style that they're going for? Because remember, they for a while they would make the games in the same vein, then they would
Hmm.
like change it, and then they'd make those in the same vein, and then they would start all over again. So I'm wondering if this is like the new, because the last three kind of had the same animation style,
Sure, sure.
character
I would
designs.
I would imagine also they're probably using the same game engine for some of the stuff too, right? I would imagine that's probably
Mhm.
why you're seeing that kind of stuff. But yeah, I agree with that. Herbert Thornton just followed you guys on Twitch. Thank you very much. You guys will notice that we are trying to put up more supers and captions along the bottom to tell you all the places you can follow us on social media. So we'll be doing that more so you guys can know where we are. But thank you for the follow.
And Herbert, to answer your question, I hope if they do a Mass Effect, it is better than Halo.
Having said that, you enjoyed Halo.
I did,
Hmm.
but I hope it's better than Halo.
Sure. Y'all can see
It's
our
to
Halo
me.
review on our Retrying channel, by the way.
I hope it's on at least as the level of the Expanse. I mean, I hope it's as good as Battlestar Galactica, but
I
I'll
mean,
take Expanse.
I mean, if you just add some aliens to Expanse, you can call it Mass Effect. Just give us some
You
aliens
know,
in Expanse, and that'll be your
I
Mass Effect right there.
I mean, let's be real. If they get the Star Trek budget that Paramount is putting out,
Yeah,
I'm in. I'm in.
yeah.
Um,
Okay, we have a
can we
few more here. What's up? Go ahead.
can we get to Stray? Because that's the game I want to talk about.
We had three more games left. Stray can be the next one. That's fine. Stray is the next one we'll talk about. And somebody said it earlier. It said "Stray for the win." I don't remember who wrote it, but they said "Stray for the
I
win."
think it was Ken from Chicago.
Yeah, Stray looks great. I remember Stray from the original. I don't know if it was called State of Play at that time. It might have been, but it was like a Sony
Hmm.
media event, like when they were first showing the PlayStation 5. Stray was being shown. I think it's published by Anna Perner Pictures or whatever,
Hmm.
or Anna
Yep.
Perner, whoever. Um,
Now remember, Annapurna is actually a movie studio that has gotten into gaming
yeah, yeah,
because they
um,
do a lot of horror movies.
yeah. Stray looks cool. That this weekend I was asking my lady, "Hey, you want to watch anything from the Sony State of Play?" Like, no, I don't care. I was like, "Oh, okay, great." So then we
There are them
looked at each
cats
other.
up there.
Yeah, we looked at each other for like 5 minutes, like, okay, who gonna talk next, me or you? And then I said, what about that Stray game? She said, ooh, I do remember that Stray game. She watched that, she liked it. So I mean, and not saying that oh, this is a game for any type of person, but I feel like it's a game that can be for somebody who really loves games or somebody who just has a passing fancy of them. It might be a game that you watch somebody else play, but
So
Stray just looks different, which is kind of what we all want, right? Different games to play.
that's funny that you mentioned that because as we were watching Stray on the stream, I got my wife to watch it. And I was like, because when it first got announced, because I watched the gameplay video. I don't know if you've seen the 5 minute gameplay video that
Oh,
they've released.
mm-mm,
So there's a gameplay where you get further into the game. So the backpack that the cat has, you get upgrades,
mm-hmm,
and so they only showed a little snippet of it. So like as you leave the city and you go under these tunnels into the world, you get to um, upgrade the backpack, and you get to fight back. And my wife had watched it with me, and she was like, "Oh," and my son had watched it. And as because we watched, because I remember I texted you the next day, I was like, "Well, let me watch some of these."
uh oh, let's see.
again. So me and Evan, we watched Stray, we watched Final Son. So I didn't let him watch Callisto Protocol because I don't want social services taking my kid. Because they would have a right if
Good
you make
call.
your kid watch that.
They would.
But
Yeah.
both my son and my wife liked Stray. As soon as Stray came up, he was like cat, and I was like, hmm. And
Yeah.
so we watched the gameplay, and he like literally watched this. And so you're right. This game, they talked about the controls are not going to be hard. The controls are going to be pretty simple. My wife is not a real big fan of these unless it is
When you say these, you mean controllers
these
or
controllers.
PS4
Yep.
controllers?
No, these controllers. She likes N64. She's still like old school gaming, retro gaming.
Okay.
Um, unless it's Wipeout, that heifer can win as a Wipeout.
Okay.
We are neck and neck. Any racing game, she's down for.
Okay.
She'll learn the controls for a racing game. So that's why I said Stray was one of the ones I was kind of really interested in because I was like, I'll pay for that. And then, but if you get the PlayStation, whatever, it's going day one on whatever their Xbox version is, or the Game Pass version that Sony's putting together.
Okay. Um, I put up Ken from Chicago's comment, Mike, a passing cat fancy. I love a
Mhm.
good pun and play on words, sir. So I'll put your comment up there. So that was Stray. We got two games left. You know what they are?
One is Street Fighter,
Hmm.
and the other is I know. I just know one of them Street Fighter. I can't remember what the other one was.
Okay, so we'll end with Street Fighter. Let's go with the other one. The next one is Season, a letter to the future. That's the one where you play as a black lady with the big
Hmm.
evil anime
Yeah.
inspired glasses or whatever,
Hmm.
riding a bike and taking pictures. This one
Hmm.
is again that has a cool art style for me. I'm really excited about it. That was one that Wendy was looking into as well. She's like, "Oh, this is kind of cool because you take photos." I thought that was
Hmm.
cool. Um, I don't know if there's going to be any combat in it per se, which is fine, but I think the story seemed interesting and just the idea of you taking these photos and trying to keep these memories before a great cataclysm or apocalypse happens.
I personally am interested in just watching the game. Like I don't want to play it. To me, I would like to watch somebody play it because I feel like it's going to play like a movie.
Hmm.
Like as somebody's playing it, I feel like it's going to be like watching almost like an like uh what is it's not Take Two. What's the people who do like the werewolf game, the Fables werewolf game, and then the Guardians game, and then the
Oh,
Batman game, and
Telltale.
the Walking Dead. Thank you, Telltale. I think it's going to be like that.
Okay,
I
interesting.
think it's going to be like watching someone play that. So I'm interested in it. I don't care to play it, but I do want to see someone play it because I do want to watch how this story unfolds.
Herbert Thornton, guys, you got to comment on Moses Ingram on Obi-Wan. I mean, Herbert, I don't really have much to say. Like, don't be racist. That's I feel like that's all I got to say. Don't be racist. Those are my
Mm,
comments.
I'm gonna be honest with you. In 2022, it's kind of hard to do. It seems to be.
I don't think it is, Leroy.
I agree with you. However, comma, it seems to be for people in
I don't
2022.
understand. People
It
be like,
seems
black people can't be in Star Wars. It's like, but aliens can be in Star Wars. What are you talking about?
remember they got upset because they were like black people can't be stormtroopers, and I was like, you don't know who's under the helmet.
Yeah,
It's
man. I
like
don't know.
it's-
Yeah, like my comments are don't be racist. That's all I got to say. Honestly, it's just
yeah,
disgusting.
I I agree with you, sir. As two
Yeah,
people of color, you would think it would not be that hard in 2022. Like, just let us live. But for
yeah.
some reason, for some
Um,
reason,
yeah. All right. So the last game that we were talking about is Street Fighter 6,
mhm.
and man, I am so down for this game. I did not play anything of Street Fighter 5, and I feel like at one point it might have been a PlayStation Plus game, so maybe I have some version of it.
Mhm.
But the people that I follow, and I brought this person up on the chat a lot, a guy named Maximilian Dude. He's a really big fighting game player, really like million followers on YouTube and doing well on Twitch and all that stuff. But really positive guy. I've
Friend of
really
the
listened. Sure, yes, Maximum do. Please come to the show. That'd be awesome. But I just listened for his takes because he really how people are experts at certain things. I feel like that guy's an
show.
expert in fighting games, so I like to listen to him break down stuff. And I say all that to say, when Street Fighter Five came out, a big thing that he said and the fighting game community said was um, Street Fighter Five didn't have an identity. It was kind of just the same game over, and it didn't seem to have much characteristics. Street Fighter Six has an identity. It's hip hop. It is a hip hop infused game, whether it's through the music, it's through the graffiti art, it's through whatever. There's definitely an identity to six, and I'm happy that it just looks different, and the graphical fidelity is beautiful. Go ahead. What you got to say about it?
I love the animation style.
Hmm.
Um, I hated the music,
Hmm.
or maybe that song. Like that song took me out of the actual game.
Hmm.
I was trying to get into it. Like I said, I've watched that trailer 3 or 4 times.
Have you watched it
Um,
without music?
yes,
Okay, I was just curious to see
and
how it
and
shaped.
so this is what I tried to do. I tried to watch it without music and then play like some other songs with it, and it was okay. But to me, it seemed like they edited that trailer to that particular music bed, and I just didn't like that song. So it just totally took me out of it. Um, I because and you something you mentioned, you said because of the way your mind sees 2D games versus 2D fight games versus 3D fight games, the animation and the action may look slower.
Hmm.
Um, you're right. To me, it did look slower than like Street Fighter Alpha and those original 2D Street Fighter games. It looks amazing. It like the colors pop. It looks like Street Fighter because it's six, right?
It is, yes, Street Fighter Six. Now it's
Street
not the
Fighter.
sixth game, but it's just the sixth
No.
mainline title or whatever.
So Street Fighter Six looks like. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the comics from Udon or Deviant art from people who like will mock up some of the characters
Hmm.
in their own little animation style. There's an artist called Bresh that looks like some of that person's artwork, like that deviant art that they change it up and like it's the same characters, but like they reimagined the characters. It really looked bright. The animation popped. It really catches your attention. I thought that was really cool. I would like to see more than just Ryu and Chun Li, but I know
You
that
did.
those are
You
two of the
also
most.
saw Luke and Jamie.
Hold on. What I'm saying is, I want to see more of just those two characters from the original. Like Luke, you saw Luke and Jamie, and I like that they're bringing in new characters, but I would have liked to have seen how this animation style applies to
The
you
original eight.
know,
He froze for a second. He might
uh
talk again.
huh, and that's just me, because that's just me from my standpoint, because I do like the franchise and the genre, and I love the animation style. The music just took me out. Just didn't like that song.
So, I mean, you will be happy to know this. It might not be true, but there is already a character leak list for Street Fighter Six, and I can read it to you now. Let's see.
I saw Guile was on it because they showed this the actual character design for Guile,
Yeah,
which was
so
pretty
apparently
awesome.
it will have at least all eight of the original people. So that means Ryu, Ken, Zangief, Dawson, E Honda, Blanca, Guile, and Chun Li. And then
Sagat.
you're gonna. He wasn't one of the original eight. He was
Oh,
part of
okay.
the Master Champions, but I don't see
Mhm.
him on this list. Let's see who else you got. You looks like you have Cammy, somebody from Brazil. I can't tell in this graphic. You got Jury, you got Akuma, of course. Um, then you have Luke, and then everybody else looks to be new to me. But you will have. It looks like you have the original eight, and it looks like it might be 22 characters according to this character leak.
You know what? You know what? I'm not mad that they don't have some of my favorites because I like my favorite was always playing with Sagat.
Oh,
That's my dude.
DJ's from Brazil. I guess if I'm thinking in my mind like Brazil, I guess I didn't think he was from Brazil. Okay, so yeah, that's Cammy,
Mhm.
DJ, Rashid, Jury, Ed, Akuma. So Cammy and DJ were from Super Street Fighter. I think it was like the New Warriors. Rashid was from Street Fighter 5. Jury was 4. Akuma's been there for a while, and Ed might be 4 or 5. I can't remember. And then a bunch of new characters that I don't know. Or well, Luke, but yeah. For me, I like it because who was that? Kyler Jones was asking, "Will there be a campaign mode?" From the trailer, it looks like there will be some sort of campaign mode where you're running around a city, and I don't know if you challenge other fighters to whatever, but yeah, it looks like you kind of run around a city, you hit somebody or you challenge them, and then you break into like a street fight from there. So there is some sort of campaign mode. I think there's a story mode, and then there's just straight up. There's just more straight up. What is it? Straight up fighting one on one or whatever. But some people are thinking maybe there might be a 2-on-2 mode because they showed
Yes,
Chun Li and Ryu kind of on the same
teamed
side,
up.
and then yeah,
Mhm.
and then Jamie and Luke on the same side. I would be down. I love a good tag team fighter. The last one we had in the Street Fighter vein was Tekken or Street Fighter Cross Tekken, which I thought was cool, but it was weird with the gyms. That's a whole other story. But I would be down for a tag team Street Fighter game.
Which one do you want more? Street Fighter 6, Marvel versus Capcom.
Oh, give me Marvel vs. Cap. Ooh, give me Marvel vs. Capcom 4 in this art style. Like
Okay.
essentially, just
Okay.
give me essentially what I want is Marvel vs. Capcom with the AAA budget. Because Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, the budget wasn't as high as other fighting games have been.
Yep.
So yeah. So
Um,
that was the breakdown on all the games.
I like I said, I enjoyed this state of play. I thought it was really good. I'm not gonna say it was the best, but I really enjoyed it. There were some things that we didn't see that I would have
Where's
liked to have
Vega?
seen.
Yeah. Um,
Um,
you didn't have Vega, you didn't have Balrog, you didn't have Bison, you didn't have Sagat. Essentially, all of the champions from the original game or whatever weren't there.
mhm.
I wonder if that's a story reason. Maybe the because
Or villains. Because think about it, all those people you name are really villains if you think about it.
oh no, they're villains because Jury is a villain.
What I'm saying is, yes, I guess what I'm saying is, are they bringing in new villains? Like, in other
Oh
words,
sure, sure,
these are your old villains,
yeah.
and are those going to be the characters like kind of like what Mortal Kombat does, bringing in oh, this person's like Spawn's here and all that, Joker and Terminator. Are they going to do that for Street Fighter?
hmm
Like now, Sagat's playable.
I'm seeing some of our older regulars come in later. Again, we did this stream impromptu. Y'all know how we do. We stream when we can, and we try to let you guys know when we can. For those who are just coming in late, you're probably seeing us on the News 19 Nerds channel. Be sure to follow us on the We Trying channel as well. Should just be We Space Trying on YouTube. You can also see the super below We Trying Y'all at Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. Essentially, we are trying to start that new channel. It's going to take a little bit. We're trying to get this to subscriber base up, but we need
Mhm.
y'all help to make that happen. So if you're coming in late, be sure to hit us on We Trying Y'all. And actually, right now, you can probably see us streaming on the News 19 Nerds and We Trying. Should be at the same time. So yeah. Yo, we trying. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Oh, we got a lot of people coming in late. Yeah, I was glad to see you guys are coming in. Um, Leroy, you guys anything else you want to talk about?
Um. So
You can hit up your topic if you want.
nothing. No, I mean just nothing really big. But
Okay.
Morbius because of all the
It's
memes and
back in
stuff,
theaters.
and it bombed.
Oh, did it?
It like it was like so. I'm reading. So I'll put in the article from The Verge into the chat so people can see it. Um,
I mean, I will see Morbius just because, like, I won't pay to see it, but I will see it eventually.
when it comes to the
Whenever
library,
it's
I'll check it out.
when it's free somewhere.
When, yeah, when it comes to the library, I'll like when I see it on the shelf,
Yeah.
uh, I'll pick it up.
So yeah, y'all.
Here it is.
Go ahead.
Here it is. Sony likely released the movie with the hope that the renewed interest in its
Oh, you know
Morbin
what you?
meme would somehow trigger a second. Go ahead.
I was gonna say. I mean, we do have the ability to screen share if you wanted to. I don't know.
True. I didn't want to do that with my
Okay.
internet because
Fair
somebody
enough.
might pick up the phone in the house and then I lose the
Yeah.
internet again.
Yeah. All right. I got
But basically, we're saying, but it turns out that the meme's popularity does directly correlate to genuine interest. Who could have guessed? And it's like, again, who is making these decisions?
you. Yeah.
Uh, who is making these decisions? Like, who thought because there was a couple of memes that got traction,
Well,
you
I
were
mean,
gonna
I think
re-release
it's
Morbius?
I
Like,
think it's the thing that people always say. It's that age old thing of suit execs are just that. They're suit execs. They don't really know what's going on in the world. So the same people who greenlit Morbius are the same people who thought, oh, people are kind of talking about it on the internet, not realizing that they're making fun of it, thinking it was popular. So I mean, it's just people out of touch. It's just it's the same thing we said before. Sony Pictures does not have their own Kevin Feige.
here's what makes me what's interesting to me. Sony has struck out with everything that they have done with the Spider-Man franchise, with the exception of Venom for some reason because they lucked up and got Tom Hardy who actually cared about the character.
And when
Um,
you say strike out, you mean like critically, right? Because commercially they make money.
hold on, they make money, but what I'm saying is nobody remembers any of their movies, so to speak,
Sure.
except for to me the best comic book movie. And when I say this, understand what I'm saying. As far as a comic book movie, End of the Spider Verse to me is the best comic book movie. Thank you, Spider Verse,
Hmm.
ever. And Sony made that. So it's like you made probably one of the worst in recent memory, and you made the best. Like
Sure.
how? How did you pull that off?
I think it's because there's nobody to be a filter and they don't know what they have. So if you have a good person come in with a pitch story, sure, go ahead and make
Mhm.
it. But you could also have a bad person with a pitch story come in and make it, and you don't have somebody overhead to be like, no, let's not do this.
Yeah, because
So I
I'm
just think
like you
they,
got like
they need that quality control.
um yeah. So I've been watching Sunflower, the video, and
Okay.
I am not a Post Malone fan, but the way that video was constructed using the actual clips from the movie, but then the actual text shows up in the screen as you're, and it really is one of the to me one of the best movies of all time, just
Okay.
as far as especially when it comes to animation. And I'm just like Sony made that, and they made Carnage, Venom 2, and I'm like, and
Yeah.
you had four of some of the best actors of all time, and this is the best y'all could get. It just boggles my mind. And then it's like they're re-releasing Morbius. I'm
Yeah.
like,
A lot of people were talking about sci-fi or Raised by Wolves season 2, and now it's over now.
mhm.
Space Leroy is trying to save it. You seen that?
I I want to see it, but it's one of those things where it's like I was so lost by what they were trying to do in season one,
Hmm.
and then this robot gives birth to a snake, and I'm like, what is going on? Like it's just so far out there. Um, Damien Hernandez, yes, the Flash movie will come out because they have put too much money into it.
I
It's
think all
done.
these movies that I think all the movies that they've made are going to come out because
Oh yeah.
like it makes no sense to just hold them now at this point. You made them because you got to try and make some money back.
Well, see, here's the thing. The reason why they were holding them, I think, was because the deal between Discovery and Warner Media. We've seen that they held them to figure out what they're going to do. They released the Batman because that was done. Remember, the Batman was supposed to come out over a year ago.
Hmm.
Um, so they had to get that out there. All these other movies were pushed back. Um, we know the troubles that Ezra Miller has had. We know Aquaman is done. We know Black Adam is almost done. Blue Beetle is in production right now, as well as Batgirl. Both of those will be a theatrical release. So Um, but we've also seen from the Warner Brothers side with CW, Batwoman was canceled, Legends of Tomorrow was canceled, the Wonder Twins movie or whatever that was canceled. They greenlit whatever this Gotham Knights nonsense is. So it's in flux. Um, so we have seen reports that there's a restructuring with the Discovery Warner Media. They have been looking to get new people in, new blood to run each department. They want someone to run Warner Brothers Animation. They want someone to run. They're looking for a Kevin Feige type person. They had even reached out to Kevin Feige to see if he would be willing to come. That was a no. They believe that they're going to be able to get the people who were running Amazon. There are two people that think that they're going to be able to come once Amazon lets them out of their contract. I believe it was Amazon, but I have to go back and look and see. Um, so Flash is coming out. It's just a matter of when. Um, Aquaman 2 is coming out based on current events, this trial. We're going to wait and see when that comes out. I don't think you see Aquaman 2 coming out this year.
Hmm.
I don't. I think what's going to happen is you're going to see probably Black Adam first, Shazam 2, and then maybe you'll get those two movies. But it just depends on where in their timeline in this DC universe what Flash does, because the goal from what we've all been reading in the trades, rumors, is they want to reset the universe. They want to keep their marquee talent, reset the universe, and try to do this the right way while still having Elseworld movies. I know they've been talking to Todd Phillips to bring on as an advisor. Having comic book people that they brought in did not work. Jeff Johns paired with uh, Josh Whedon didn't work. We've been hearing some reports out of that did not go well. I don't know if they're going to reach out to Ray Fisher after this whole debacle. We've heard, who knows, but we know that there's a restructuring coming. It's just a matter of what's going to happen. We know that Kim from Chicago says recent rumor report they want to remake DCEU around Henry Cavill as Superman. The whole idea is they want to keep Gal Gadot. They want to keep Jason Momoa. They want to keep making the little Elseworld movies like the Batman, the Joker with Todd Phillips, and keep doing stuff like that. Points back, um, but honestly, they don't know what they want to do. And rumor has it, Henry Cavill isn't under contract anymore. So, and Henry Cavill has expressed interest in wanting to work in Marvel. Uh, Henry Cavill, for everybody for people who don't know, Henry Cavill's a nerd. He's one of us. He just looks like a god amongst us. He plays World of Warcraft. Matter of fact, he was late to his shoot because he was playing World of Warcraft. His dog's name is Cal. I mean, the dude is a nerd. Um, he is just one of the most down to earth people who, from what we've seen. Uh, so I really want to see him get another shot at the Man of Steel too. That's just me personally, and I'm gonna get off my soapbox now.
Yeah, you was talking for a minute.
Yeah,
Um,
but
uh,
that talk about all of this Aquaman, DCU, Flash is that we don't know. The only thing we know is that Black Adam's coming out because of The Rock, and Shazam 2's coming out because it's done.
I think some of the other ones are done too.
They are done, but the problem is, can you release them while some of your main people who are going to be on the media circuit, like you can't have Ezra Miller out there to ask questions on um, Kimmel, Colbert. You can't have
Well, to be
Jason
fair,
Moore.
those people aren't going to ask those questions.
Yes, they are.
No, they won't. I'll bet you
I
right now. Though none of those people you named are going to ask real questions. Colbert,
here's
maybe. Kimmel is not going to
here's
ask a real question.
here's
Fallon is not
the
going to ask a
thing.
real question.
I use those people's names as stand-ins, but you're not going to have press junkets and your main two stars. personal lives are blown up. Ezra Miller's personal life is in flux. Amber Heard's personal life is in flux based on current events. You cannot have a junket and Jason Momoa has to answer questions about this. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Without people asking him about what's going on. And that's what I'm saying. And you may be right. Colbert might ask it. Kimmel probably won't. I think Seth would. Seth Meyers probably would. Um, but you're right. Maybe the big, James Corden probably wouldn't.
Well,
But
you know what? He might because he's ending his show. He don't care.
he's getting another show on TBS. He's probably so
Oh, is
again.
he?
You're right. Yeah, he's that's the
Oh,
rumor is
cool.
he's got to figure out. They basically he's going to end his show this year. Has one more year left, and then he's probably going to take over Conan's spot. Probably get a show on TBS. That's the rumor. But I mean, you
Okay,
can't have these people out there having press junkets, and then somebody's like, "So Ezra Miller, what happened in Hawaii?" Like
sure,
until it gets resolved, you
sure.
know, until it's
Uh,
resolved and it's behind them. That's what I would say.
okay. We've
But
been streaming for an hour and 30 minutes. We're gonna wrap this up.
yeah, I gotta
We've
go
been
rub my
going
wife's feet.
great. Thank you, chat, for being with us as we tried this new hardware. It seems to go well based on what you guys have been saying. I think it's been pretty consistent. You guys have been able to see everything with the chat and the comments. See us. You guys have seen the stuff on the bottom. As you know, we got a new channel. We trying. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, all that we trying, y'all. YouTube and Facebook are we trying?
Hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Um, I don't know when we will be back for another stream. We'll continue to put up some content. If you go to our YouTube channel now and we try and you can see a bunch of reactions that we have and some reviews as well. We will try, or at least I will try to be up on Thursday or no, Sunday for sure. Not tomorrow, but next Sunday for the Xbox thing. I imagine Leroy would be with the baby, so he probably wouldn't be there. I don't think.
Just depends. Like, I mean, right now, I told that woman to sit down somewhere for she had his baby in Target. Um, so,
So
uh,
yeah,
so
there we
hopefully
go.
the goal. So here's the plan, people. The goal is my last day at work is Wednesday. So then I'll be off for 6 weeks, maybe seven, and then we'll be able to do this a little more freely while I'm gone on our channel.
I don't see that
Uh,
happening, but okay. You got
oh
two
man,
babies to
I'm
take care of.
well. One goes to bed about 8, and the other one I have him just with me. I mean, he just gonna be up with us, so
Hmm.
he go learn a lot of nerd stuff. I'm gonna put
Okay,
some. I got some baby headphones over there. Uh,
nice,
so but yeah.
cool.
So the goal is for Owen, because again, I'm in Owen's room. There's his name. That's the pack play for when he's in here with me. The bassinets in the master bedroom. Uh, Baby will be next week, or yeah, next week because it's still Saturday. Um, so hopefully the baby will get here because the Celtics in 5. So we got a game tomorrow. Shotgun some answers here for you guys because some people asked some questions. I hope that they don't do the Stanley CG. Um, I think that's bad. I think that's bad juju. And the company they're working with, it's a company Stan Lee sued before he died. Um, uh, Somebody else asked a question. I was wanted to answer it real quick, but I can't get it. But that I think that's it. Uh,
Oh, so the next time you see us for sure should be on the 12th, and at least for a live event on the 12th, probably because I'll be streaming the Xbox thing, and then we'll do press plays when we can, or whatever we're going to call them when we can. And for at least for a second, we will probably be streaming on both the News 19 Nerds channel and the We Trying channel, just so we can migrate people over, and then we'll let you know when we finally make that cutoff to just be We Trying
yeah.
for the most part. You had any more comments, or
Nah, man. Yeah, and just stay safe out there, guys. COVID's not over. And not to bring up some negativity, but we've seen what's going on in the news. Stay safe, take care of each other, look out for each other, and be kind. You know, it's 2022. Let's just try to be nice to each other. There's a lot of we got enough stuff to deal with without us being negative and racist and homophobic or whatever else you want to be. You
Yeah.
know, treat people the way you want to be treated.
There we
Unless
go.
those people don't think, Die Hard is a Christmas movie, screw those people.
Okay. We out.